It's just being earnest. Right here, right now. All right. And we're in here.
Look at us. Look
Look
what
at
we
me.
have today.
Fine wine.
Elvis Katic.
Fine wine.
Just had a great dinner.
Yes.
Elvis Katic is
Made
in the
by
building.
me. From scratch. Just about
From
everything
scratch.
except for shrimp.
From scratch. We saw you at the Benicia Town Hall in Benicia, California, speaking with, what was this gentleman's name?
Mike Thompson.
Mike
the California
Thompson.
senator.
A California senator out of one of the districts out here in the Bay Area.
Correct.
And I haven't seen it. So the people will see it, before the show starts.
I took Oda with me for emotional support because
man.
Bubbles didn't get the
What
idea.
what was said? What was said? Give us a breakdown of what would happen between you and Oda when you guys got there.
Should
what
I
happened
start or you should start? Oh, it was my idea.
Yes.
Okay, it was my idea. I went back and forth with some council members from Benicia on Benicia happenings, and I don't know if you know, but from last year, Benicia water bill went from $40 to $300.
Gotcha. Jesus.
Yes, 50 from
Okay,
50 to
okay.
300. I hear some people, paying like $2,000 water bill. When you look at your bill, consumption is still $20, $30. But all of the fees for some stupid companies, that used to live from $10 fee, now have $70 fee. Long story short, every time there's like something about water bill in Benicia happenings, people just go hard on it.
Right.
And Steve Young, one of the Benicia council members, chimes in.
from the Benicia City Council.
City councilman, and I felt he's a good guy. He will try to be honest when shit goes his way, and when it doesn't go his way. So
You've spoken with him.
no, we traded. I was like a keyboard warrior at that time.
Oh yeah.
right?
I've been
But
there.
he made me believe like it's not that bad facing them in a real life, as opposed to typing.
Right.
You also did go up to this gentleman, Steve Young.
I went and introduced myself.
You did.
The moment we went in there, I went in there and I said, Steve, I hope I'm not too much of a nuisance on online on Facebook, right? Like this is who I am. I hope I'm not too much of a nuisance. And he says, well, we'll see tonight.
he was ready for it.
He said, we'll see tonight.
So when you guys got there, so when you got in what was the crowd like?
Old.
It's an older crowd.
He was like, well, it was old and stringy hair, and everybody that ever protested in 60s, I think, was there.
Okay.
Right?
That is one of the most accurate statements to describe that crowd because
Baby boomers.
I don't know, a bunch of hippies, old hippies. The hair got a little shorter, the tits got a little longer.
Yeah, right.
I mean,
Cylinder
a bunch of
shaped
hippies.
tits.
But we go in there and there's a huge banner behind the podium.
God.
Yes. And the banner says the Democratic Resistance.
The
Correct.
Democratic. So what are they resisting exactly?
I have no idea, but there were a bunch of ladies that says, what did they shirts? I resist. Resist and some other word. It looked.
I forget, but resistance was a constant theme.
I mean, resist,
resisting,
prosper, or something. It felt to me like, I don't know. It felt to me like some kind of anti-rape T-shirt, man.
So what was this event? What was it? So you said his name was Mike Thompson.
Event was like Mike Thompson was invited by three. I guess three Benicia or Vallejo activist groups.
Sure,
One
yeah.
of them was Democratic Resistance. whatever that is. Last guy that resisted peacefully. We know how he ended.
Right.
Crucified.
Yeah.
And then it was like Carcanus Democrats or something, and Vallejo something.
So there was nobody there of any opposite way of thinking.
No,
just
it was me, and then it was Oda, but halfway into it.
Okay. Yeah. So the 5 topics, wasn't it 5?
I think so.
Yeah.
Let me see if we remember. Green New Deal.
Green New Deal.
Whatever that is.
Yeah.
Income inequality.
Gun control.
Income inequality. We're in Benicia, right?
Yes. I know. Yeah, right?
Okay. All
right. Immigration.
Uh-huh.
What was the last one?
Global warming? Or?
Global warming. Yes, correct.
Gun control.
So Green New Deal and global warming, couldn't this be summed up in one Green New Deal?
I thought, yeah, right.
Right? So there he comes, he starts. Introduced by Steve Young. Some introductions were like classic. Go ahead.
So me and Elvis sit there, and I'm just there basically to film this event. Elvis already knows what he's gonna say, but I'm sitting there as a person who I consider myself an independent that leans towards the left, and left of center. What I witnessed was eye-opening in the sense that, like, his first 10 to 15, maybe not even 15 minutes, maybe 12 minutes of him talking, we're clapping, we're just like, I agree with all this. Talking about...
That's as much of a speech as he could memorize.
Yeah, and then after
So this was Michael Thompson.
Yes.
He's the guy.
Okay.
Yeah,
so this is what you're talking about. He had three solid minutes.
I mean...
of good speech.
Correct. 3, 4, 5. I mean, if you didn't know about the guy, he wrote every bill ever written on the planet. That's how I got it.
Just watch this Benicia meeting. He wrote like 2,500 some odd bills, like according to him, every bill ever.
And we have all that footage.
Well, the whole meeting is online.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
So I waited to ask question after the whole meeting because I waited for him to talk about everything he wanted to talk about.
Right.
So my first question was pretty much something like, okay, we talked about gun violence, we talked about global warming, we talked about income inequality, we talked about all of these things. Speaking of guns, California has one of the lowest gun ownership per capita. 4.4 people own guns per 100,000 people. 4.4. We are one of the lowest in the country. Gun violence. 7.4 deaths per capita per 100,000, one of the lowest in the country. Global warming, gas emissions, we are 9.2 from 2016 EPA. They're checking. We are half of country's average. California is half of country's average. Now it's 8.4. We're doing even better. Yes, one of the topics was healthcare. Talking about healthcare.
Yes.
We had last year, California was one of the only 3 states where a number of insured went up, number of non-insured went down. So I told him all of these stats, and I said, do you believe that what you talked about today are more pressing issues for California than the fact that over 170,000 people more left California last year than moved in? 1,600 companies left and disinvested in California last year. We have 129, and these 2 stats
and this is
are the highest in the country.
You're telling him all of
I did.
All these facts.
Gun ownership in California is among the lowest in the state. So is our gun violence. What is gun ownership per capita in California is one of the lowest in the states. So is our gun violence per capita. Our carbon output is half of average of the country. So, do you think those are most pressing issues for California, or it's our debt of $1.5 trillion, over 130,000 homeless, companies leaving California to the tune of thousands per year, people leaving California to the tune of hundreds of thousands? And can we have you back to maybe talk about those issues some other time?
Well, I don't think it's an either or.
Yes, I told him all of these stats.
And
Right?
he's standing and he's listening. He's looking
listening.
right at him and he's listening to everything he's saying.
Well, he's thinking. He's trying to think of something to say.
Yeah, we'll get to that. I don't even believe that he doesn't even care.
Do you? Okay, so you think he doesn't care?
The moment he,
or do you think he came there to rally a bunch of people
he
who?
came there to rally the troops for 2020.
Right.
I really believe. He almost like just blew air out.
He wasn't there to listen to any Benicians.
The moment it was first disagreement, he just couldn't wait for me to stop. I feel like it.
Yeah.
I feel like, and you can see him turning his back on me.
Oh, definitely. So that was the summation of his question. Was just like, do you feel like with all these stats and facts that I just threw out there, do you think this is really more pressing than this issue? And then he just did the turn. He's like, well, so he couldn't look at Elvis.
He didn't know the gun ownership in California.
He didn't know gun per
He
capita
admitted to
in
me that he
California.
doesn't know how many people own guns here.
I don't know what gun ownership is in California.
And he wrote bills on gun control.
He wrote bills on everything. You guys told
And,
me.
and then he told me, and he's supposed to represent California in Washington, and he told me like, well, it's not only about California.
Yeah.
So he's there to follow the party's agenda, global agenda, or whatever. He's not there to represent you and me.
No.
Right, he wasn't there. He wasn't there to.
He's there to represent his base, and that answer that he get just long, drawn out dodge of an answer.
Background check requirements. The theory being that that's the first line off the street, or you can go online and buy the same gun. And there's all kinds of, I don't know what you call it. In addition to that, after Sandy Hook, I was appointed the chairman of the task force on gun violence prevention.
The deflection and the whataboutisms and all this, I saw over an hour of that.
Yeah.
And that was the most eye-opening thing to me because, like I said before, I went there thinking just to listen and to film him, and then I found out that the left literally is just as bad as the right, and that shit is crazy to me. If not worse.
What you're seeing now is a very hyped up version of what you saw. With the but see, it was different when the right was doing it. When they were upset about Obama, they were doing things. They were doing wild things. They were coming up with things like, "Oh, he wasn't born in this country," things like that. That were just completely ridiculous and counterproductive. But they were still doing things like organizing the Tea Party and still coming together and
complaining about real issues like spending,
right?
Right.
But it was real issues that they could
Correct.
rally people around. Yes, they had hatred towards the president. It was obvious, but they rallied around issues and they had it. I don't see the left doing any of that. I see even what you guys were talking about, what you went to, which I could have went to, but I didn't have. I couldn't go to because of my children, but. The resistance.
Don't worry, your children are safe because as per Mike Thompson, they are the smartest kids on the planet. They get out of school, they protest about their lives against guns.
No.
Remember?
Yeah.
I mean, he was like, and they're telling us, oh, we are using kids to go and.
It even sounds like the resistance is like even what you went to. Is just like it wasn't something to let's talk about real issues. It was more like hey. We don't want Trump to win again, type of deal.
Yeah, it was pretty much,
I mean, it's called the resistance.
Exciting the troops. What are you resisting?
I haven't heard that since the first time I started hearing
Patriotic
that was
resisting.
2016.
Patriotic resisting.
With your pussy hats.
I've seen. Probably some of these people were in Benicia during Bush years. Mm-hmm. They were on the top of the First Street. With the big signs every Thursday, bring our boys home. Bring our boys home from Afghanistan, from this and this. Patriotic resistance. Obama becomes the president in like Kaiser Soze. They're gone.
They're gone.
They're gone. Mm-hmm. Even though more soldiers died under Obama's tenure in Afghanistan than during warlord Bush. That's a fact. But they were gone. I mean, that tells you a lot about left today.
Oh yeah, they have very short memories.
I mean, we're talking like 2 years.
Selective,
second question.
Selective memory.
Remember the thing about taxes he was talking about, where he's like all these Republicans handed in a like 2,000 page on whatever, and
oh my God, yes, yes.
And then you reminded me that that was the same
thing that happened with
Affordable Care Act.
Affordable Care
Act. That's how they push that through.
Yes,
yeah, it was short notice.
I mean, he's complaining about the same thing Republicans are complaining during Obama years. I mean, is this the best and brightest we have?
Dude,
it's a bunch of children.
It's hard for me to watch. You know, you turn on the news today, and every single channel, is they're talking about obstruction now.
Yeah, that's the new thing. Yes,
right. I mean, we were talking. You know, it irritates me that so many people who claim to love this country wanted the president of the United States, the president of your country, to be colluding with an enemy, a foreign enemy, against your own country. Yes. You wanted that.
Yes. Yes.
And you're on TV complaining that that's not what you got. You didn't get that, the fact that your president was a traitor.
You know what's the funniest thing now, today and yesterday? That the big orange devil just got a pass. He never colluded with Russians. Yeah. And so the only thing that's in my memory right now is Obama on a hot mic talking to Lavrov. Remember that? When he didn't know the mic is turned on?
No.
There's been a couple times where he didn't know the mic was turned on.
There was this interview that Obama had with a Russian minister of Foreign Affairs, Lavrov.
Okay.
I think Lavrov is his name.
Okay.
And he was caught with a hot mic because it was the year of him fighting for second term.
Okay.
So he tells this Russian guy, please tell your president, Putin, that I will be much more looser in my second term. Remember that?
I remember that. Yeah, I remember that.
He said, yes, he was.
I remember that.
He said, after I get my second term, now I might be like speaking like tough, but I'll be much more looser with you the next term. You didn't know that?
Because he got a little more capital. You get a little more capital in that.
That was the real collusion. Another thing, in Mueller's report, he said how none of the Trump's minions ever took a bait and ever wanted to work with Russians. It was something like they had chance to work with Russians, but they never took it. This is in his report.
Huh.
But the thing is, all of these Russian guys were FBI guys trying to infiltrate Trump's election.
His campaign.
What?
Yes. I mean, Rosenstein said that they were trying to infiltrate the campaign to get their ear inside. So probably there was a bunch of these FBI guys approaching, Obama's little helpers, not Obama's, Trump's, offering, pretending to be Russians. And now he says no, he had a chance, but he never took it. I mean, okay, if those were Russians, why aren't they charged? So,
I think you should be happy to know that the fact that your president is not a traitor and you're not at risk. Of your president is not a Russian mole. That should be a good thing.
Yeah, that's the sentiment from the past couple days. Like, oh, he's not Russian.
No,
I said,
fuck.
I have my best friends telling me a couple of weeks ago, oh, so and so told me that Trump is gonna soon walk out of the White House in handcuffs. And I look at them. I said, my God.
When? Where?
Dude,
who?
Why? How? I mean, just because you wish it so, ain't gonna.
I don't even know why.
Why
would you want something like that?
Because of what politics became in the past decade.
It's almost like sports teams.
Yes. Oh yes. You want to stab whoever is not Raiders fan.
Right.
It became that.
That's what it's.
You're ready to wait for the guy and stab him in the heart because he's not on your team.
Well, I thought that he was gonna get they were gonna get something, catch him red-handed. Not to say that I wanted that to happen.
Yeah, you did.
But hey, I mean,
come on,
dude. I mean, if he goes, then we have Mike Pence. I mean, it's just.
Oh yeah, right.
The real devil.
I mean, yeah, this totally like blows my mind. Don't they know that the second guy, I mean, the next guy believes that homosexualism can be cured by power of Jesus Christ
and electroshock therapy.
That's the next in line.
Yeah, religious law over the Constitution.
Yeah. That's the next in line. I mean, don't they know this? Or they're gonna open some investigation on him as well, if they get rid of this guy.
They have this thing right now where it sucks to be an old white man, right? So right now you're the old white man. Oh no, we need to get all these old white guys out of here.
You like me?
But Joe Biden, but Joe Biden, he's the one.
Yeah.
Joe Biden, he'll save us.
Joe Biden's the truth.
Reminds me of what I heard actually. Turned on my TV, MSNBC. I just wanted to hear it. There was a guy there. I kid you not. I'm gonna paraphrase because I was so shocked that I forgot the most of it by reflex of surviving. Guy pretty much said that the fact that Trump's family survived all this ordeal of 2+ years of investigation was only because of white privilege. Because if any black person or minority person was subjected to this Mueller investigation, there's no way that they wouldn't find something to string him up.
I see what he's trying to do. I wanna agree with him. I see what he's trying to do.
But they were really after Trump, though.
But man, they had the FBI launched an investigation.
$55 million in 635 days. That's $38,000 a year.
They threw a lot at him. The media was against him. I mean, I almost feel like, I pretty much know Trump will win again. So at the end at the end of 2024, I think he's gonna be almost like how O.J. Simpson is, how they're treating this man.
In jail?
No, not O.J.'s. O.J.'s not in jail, but how he's ostracized. I think Trump's getting the O.J. treatment. I mean, O.J. got off. He's getting the rich man treatment. You may get ostracized, but hey, you still get to live. And
yeah, but O.J.'s still looked at as a murderer.
But I don't see Trump as he didn't even do anything illegal that he's been caught doing.
But O.J. killed somebody.
Allegedly.
What the fuck is this? I mean, you guys like you guys don't even believe that O.J. killed somebody?
That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying he was.
It was not proven.
By the letter of the law, he is proven innocent.
Correct.
Okay.
And by the letter of the law, the Mueller said that he couldn't prove collusion.
Right.
And now everybody's up in the air.
They're trying to get him for something.
They're trying, because he couldn't say it was collusion, but he couldn't say it was not collusion. So now this is all you're hearing.
Yeah.
I mean,
this is all you're hearing because there is no judge is gonna say you're innocent. He's gonna either say you're guilty or you're not guilty. Not guilty doesn't mean you're innocent. OJ.
That Mueller report was never going to. That Mueller report was never going to say, there was collusion with the Russians. It was never going to say that.
Well, it just has to lay out all Exhibit A through Z. It has to lay out all the facts and all the findings, and then it's up to the Attorney General. Isn't it?
I think the media has a lot of explaining to do. They tried. The media.
No, they're already in phase 2.
CNN, MSNBC had you believing Donald Jr. was going to jail.
Yes. I mean, just imagine.
Oh, the secret.
I mean,
what is it?
Watergate.
Julian
Watergate,
Assange.
It's coming.
Right.
It's coming.
Yeah.
I mean,
fall.
I thought he was going to jail.
Any day now. You thought who was going to jail?
Trump Jr. Because of him organizing that tower meeting.
Well, it's what the media was saying. The media had you thinking that. Like this is their reports.
Yes.
These are their reports from anonymous sources.
Yes.
You know, they owe the public an explanation.
There is no news anymore. I mean, since the moment I came to this country, and Bush was elected.
What year was that?
1999.
What year did you move to Benicia?
2005.
Okay.
1999, I moved here. Bush becomes the president. And I used to listen to news in Europe, watch CNN. It was news. The moment he became president, everything became crisis. There's no more news.
Talking about George W.
Yes.
Yeah.
Everything became crisis. Even the freaking wind became crisis. Tornadoes became crisis. A little bit of rain became crisis.
Right.
A little bit of no rain became a crisis.
It's a good perspective to see things,
everything became crisis. No more like we didn't have rain for 10 years. No, you dead.
you die.
I don't know if you know, but Rachel just said you've been dead for 5 days.
Yeah.
Everything.
That's how it is.
Seriously.
Yeah.
They don't report anything. It's just crisis after crisis that we live in.
Right.
Yeah.
They think we're miserable. Everybody's divided.
I mean, why do you think Hollywood doesn't make catastrophe movies anymore?
Right. Because we live in them every day.
When did you see Armageddon movie last? Unless it was in a servitude of global warming. Right?
Yeah, when did
Godzilla freaking destroy the house last time?
Right.
That's called Hollywood shadow.
So that was the gist of the trip to.
No, there's more. I asked him a second question.
The second question was.
I stayed there.
And the second question was.
So I stayed there. Some lady bitched about $8 bridge toll.
$8 bridge.
Right? So
$6, I thought.
Oh, it's gonna be 8 sooner than you
It's
know.
gonna be 8, whatever. Yeah.
I mean, but then I stayed there and I pretty much asked him, "Hey, I said before I asked the question."
Yep,
you can keep going.
Before I ask a question, I just want everybody to know that I'm totally against death penalty. I am.
Yeah.
That being said, I told him one of the first order of the business of our new governor, Gavin Newsom, was to pretty much deny the will of the people from 2016 Proposition 62, where California people said that death penalty is not going to be abolished. It was like two and some years ago, barely 3 years ago. We the people voted that death penalty is to stay. I'm against it, but we voted.
Right.
And I asked him, does that make Gavin Newsom autocrat? And given a chance, would you also deny the will of the people based on your personal feelings? Turned his back on me.
Mm-hmm. Oh, come on.
And then the slow-mo, Matrix avoiding bullets in slow-mo. One of the first orders of business of Gavin Newsom was to deny the will of the people from 2016 elections, Proposition 62. Does that make Gavin autocrat? And given a chance, would you also deny the will of the people based on your personal feelings?
Well, I think that I have long been troubled by the death penalty. Don't get too excited. I didn't say I was against it. I said I'm troubled by it. The idea that, and we've found, as you know, instances where people were unfairly put to death, are convicted of and sentenced to the death penalty, and it turns out later they weren't. I think it would be terrible if that were to happen to a single person.
I agree.
And I know from the governor's perspective, I know what he's wrestling with as well. and I know he has a very personal connection to this issue. The question is, should he have done what he did? Now, he did a moratorium, so I don't think that is in defiance of the voters. I think he did a moratorium, and I don't want to talk for him, but it seems to me that he did the moratorium to try and sort it out. But you're right, twice in the last 2 elections, we the voters have voted on this, and the voters said no, keep it in place. So this is an issue that he's going to have to deal with, and I understand it both from his perspective and from the voters' perspective. Thank you all very much.
He ignored it. I asked him, is Gavin Newsom autocrat? Would you do the same if given a chance? And he continued to talk about that penalty. And he said, yeah, something like in the rule of death penalty. I think about that penalty a lot, and then it was a clap, clap, clap. Well, and wait a minute. So, but then at the end of his quote unquote answer, I didn't even know if he's for it or against it.
No, and
it was a perfect answer.
He said, I think about it a lot.
And he said, well, Gavin Newsom didn't deny the will of the people. He just put a moratorium on it until we see what we're going to do. What the fuck are you seeing what you're going to do?
Yeah.
You're not seeing what you're going to do if you're for
the people voted. The people
voted for it. Yeah. No, until we see what you're going to do. So that means he's got like a bunch of lawyers to see how he can go around it. That's it.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
This is Gavin Newsom. And he did it before in San Francisco. Again, I am against government telling what 2 grown-ups should do with their lives and what kind of contract they're going to enter. If you want to marry a guy, you can enter any contract you want.
Right.
But he went and did it by himself when he was mayor of San Francisco. Remember when he came to the camera and said, like, we're going to have it whether you like it or not.
Yeah, with the gay marriage,
like it, but it's not the correct way to make change.
Right. You have to,
And this is the disease of Democrat Party. They believe they're revolutionists. For the most part, the right people are guided by either God, whatever they're guided by, but they're much more concerned about doing it the right way.
Right.
These guys don't care.
I also saw a lack of reasoning when I heard Mike Thompson speak too. There's
lack of reasoning.
This man literally. There's a guy that asked Mike Thompson about global warming, and I
remember.
He said, I have, I was even on board with Al Gore. I'm a far leftist. But over the years, I've done a lot of research. And it seems that it's not a consensus that scientists really understand the effects of global warming. Yeah, which, but he was just saying, like, well, I just have a suggestion that we should just go back to saying things like clean air.
Clean air, clean water,
clean
food,
so that both the left and the right can kind of like come together.
There's nothing to argue about it, yeah.
And I was like, wow, that was great.
He said change the language.
Yeah, and so Mike Thompson's reply was, oh, well, I mean, what are you gonna just disregard all the studies that have come out? And I'll tell you another thing. I was a country boy back in my day.
Oh my God! Oh, dude, go.
Country
boy. Did you hear this?
Oh
my God!
This is my first time hearing about this.
Oh my God! Go.
He said I was a country boy, and back in the country fields, back where on the farm, when I would walk away from the farm, it got colder. So who are you to tell me that global warming's not this really happened?
He said in this room, see, we're all in this room. It's warmer, and then when you get out, it's gonna be colder.
He really
which I guess
it's 7 o'clock at night, man.
I guess for him that proves that man is responsible for warming.
Come on, but that's 8 o'clock. It's 8 o'clock at night. It's colder than it is.
He said, I'm in my farmhouse. I walk out and it's colder, which means we are really doing something for warming it up. I mean,
we both looked at each other.
We look at each other. I'm like,
oh man.
See, that's what I'm talking about.
And 5 minutes before that, he chastised Republicans in a Washington, telling him like, "Oh, you don't know about global warming. My neighbor, right? Remember that?
Yeah,
my neighbor knows about it. He lives on a farm, and he knows, right? And then 5 minutes later, he's telling us that he's the guy on the farm that noticed that when he's in a house, it's warmer. And when he walks away from a house, it's getting colder."
And on top of that, he's been writing bills for environmental, or like for global warming and clean all this for like, what, decades? He's been writing bills for decades?
He's not writing shit. You know what he's writing?
Yeah,
Extra 50 cents to your gallon of gas that he's going to spend fighting global warming. He's not writing solutions. He's taking your money that he's going to spend, hopefully, fighting global warming. That's it.
If I learned anything, it's just everybody just sucks. The left sucks, the right sucks. It's just,
if people vote their conscience as opposed to trying to vote for the winner, right?
Yeah.
No, people are voting for the winner, trying to pick a winner. It's like a sports bet.
Right.
They're usually trying to vote for like whoever's going to win, instead of voting their conscience.
Right. Or voting with what they think is right.
Mm-hmm.
They just want to be on the side of the victor.
Yes, everybody wants to. Yeah, everyone wants to say like,
my guy won.
My guy won.
I voted for Ron Paul in 2012.
You did?
Ron Paul. Yeah.
I was not eligible at that time. Next time I voted for.
I'm pretty sure you wrote in Rick James.
Rick James. I voted for Rick James.
So I voted for Barack Obama in 2008, and I right away wasn't happy. It took about all of 3 months into that presidency for me to be out of there. But we live and we learn. I wanted to be a part of history. I thought I was doing something special. He sold me on the hope and change that guy could talk. That guy was smooth, man.
Oh yeah.
Like a black man who's articulate. He's up there. He's doing right. Everything's perfect. He doesn't have any extra kids anywhere. Everything's on the up and up. He was perfect. Maybe too perfect.
Did you keep your doctor?
No. No, I didn't, man. No, I didn't keep my doctor that he told me I was going to keep. No. I liked her.
Yeah.
I liked her. Mary Wardlaw. She was great.
And you know how many people really lost their doctor and they won't admit it?
They said they kept their doctor. No,
at least you admit it, right? There's a bunch of people that lost their doctor and they will say like,
I had to go to a different hospital.
No, it's better now. Oh my God.
Immediate regret.
Yeah, man. It's horrible.
My God, remember that time? I mean, remember how hard he was selling that?
Oh, he sold me. In 2008, he sold me. He had me. Hook, line, and sinker.
Yeah.
I was ready. I sent my ballot in, I think, maybe 2-3 weeks before the election.
Oh, my God.
He had me. I was ready. Black man in the White House.
Black man in the White House. I mean, I actually blush when I say that. I have so much white guilt. I do.
The white guilt.
I guess that's what it is.
It didn't work out. It didn't work out the way I had hoped. Maybe next time. I really think. And then 2016, I really thought I was going to vote Republican in 2016. I thought Rand Paul was going to have a chance.
Rand Paul?
Yeah, but Donald Trump bulldozed everybody.
Oh, my God.
In that Republican field.
He just played right. He played on everybody's anger.
They didn't stand a chance.
Play him like...
There was actually really sad for me to watch how just like bulldozed them.
Yeah.
Like how successful and how easy it was for him.
It was stupid for me to see how stupidly easy it is that he just shouts these empty phrases. You know, at least Obama was saying something that can appeal to people.
It had
but
substance.
This guy was just yelling like phrases, and everybody's like.
But even like the moderators at these debates, where they would have all of them up there, even the moderators at these debates wouldn't be asking any of the other. They wouldn't ask Jeb Bush a question. They were only asking Donald Trump questions.
Star quality.
And then he would just.
It's better for TV.
And then he would just go off and start talking about everybody else.
It's better for TV.
Little Marco.
Oh, I heard he's already having his booklet about each presidential candidate of Democrat Party, and he's already having nicknames for all of them.
This will be fun. This will be fun. It's starting soon. It'll come up pretty soon.
It's already.
Yeah, he's happy now.
Democrats, man.
Investigation is over.
Soon half of a country is gonna be Democrat president hopeful. What else? Mueller.
Bob Mueller. $20 million.
25.
$25 million.
38,000 a day.
$38,000 a day. Okay.
2,800 subpoenas.
To be fair to him, we haven't seen the report.
Right.
We haven't seen it in its entirety.
Correct.
To be fair to him. But is that taxpayer dollars?
Well, it's not like Hillary paid it, for the dossier.
Right. But still,
yes, it's taxpayers' dollars.
I mean, we should be able to see 2 years and $25 million.
If we paid for it, then yeah. I mean,
you know what's gonna happen?
I just want to see it.
You know what's gonna happen if you see how many pages is it? 50 pages.
Yeah.
If this gets out in the open, they're gonna find 100 little phrases that are gonna be open for discussion, and it's never gonna end.
Are you talking about Congress?
Yeah. Well, I'm talking about the
MSNBC
committees, TV,
right?
News agency. They're gonna find every little phrase that's not could be this, could be that, and they're gonna raise more and more and more questions. They're gonna keep this alive until 2020.
I wonder if it is. Yeah, I think we wouldn't have to keep it alive if they just released it.
No, that's when it's gonna hit the fan.
Oh, okay.
They release it, 500 pages. I mean, there's gonna be paid guys that are gonna try to find. Oh, look what it said here. Okay, we're gonna send another 100 subpoenas. That's what it's gonna be.
But, that report, that's really up to Bill Barr whether or not it gets released, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Well,
it's his choice.
It's his summary that was put out.
Yes, and now the problem is that Bill Barr is an appointee from Trump, but now because the things are the way they are, now that's a problem. I mean, it's crisis after crisis.
Well, he won't be able to appoint anyone,
right?
Without there being some kind. I mean, I thought it was funny. I thought it was funny when Jeff Sessions was leaving, and everybody gave the big sob story for Jeff Sessions as he was on his way out. And I can't believe the president got rid of Jeff Sessions and treated him so terribly. When he nominated Jeff Sessions, nobody wanted Jeff Sessions in there.
Right.
They're talking about Jeff Sessions is a racist. There's no way he should be in there. Look what he did to look what Coretta Scott King said about him. Look at all of this stuff.
Look at the guy that he fired. What's his name?
Comey.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they talked about him like a dog.
Yes.
Yeah.
They wanted him fired, and all of a sudden he became a true champion of democracy.
Because Trump didn't like him.
Because Trump fired him.
Right.
Where they wanted to fire him like 6 months prior to that. And now he went from like pariah to champion of.
What is it? What a shit show this is.
Yeah. 100%.
Only in America.
Only in America.
Only in America.
I thought I really was hopeful that once it came out on Saturday, no collusion, that this would die down a little bit.
No, no. It just goes to phase 2. Now it's about Barr has to make a call. Was he obstructing or was he not obstructing? Because because Mueller said, I couldn't find any proof that he obstructed.
Right.
I couldn't find any proof that he didn't. And now they want the Attorney General to make a call. Like, come on. Come and speak publicly. What do you think?
Right.
Even though they already accused him. They already know. My God. Rachel today was terrible.
Rachel Maddow from MSNBC.
15 Ys, man.
Yeah.
15 Ys.
How many times a day is she on TV? Because
Today?
I feel like she's on too
today,
much.
The question was how many times somebody else was on TV. Look at her. 15 questions. Why did Mueller not decide obstruction of justice? That's a question because he can't.
He's not a prosecutor.
Yes. Did Mueller expect Barr to decide on the obstruction? No, because Barr doesn't decide on obstruction. He read it to us. Should Barr have decided on obstruction? I mean, just these first 3 whys is just like drilling, making people more and more sick.
My God. That was great, fellas.
Was it?
I thought so.
Yeah.
That was an hour worth of content.
Yeah. Good.
I appreciate you, Elvis.
Yeah.
We can do this tomorrow.
Thank you.
No, we're definitely going to do this again, and we're going to do the. Yeah, we should do this for UFC fights.
Oh, sure.
And other funny things that happen in our democracy.
Whenever there's like UFC live, we can set up and watch, and then.
Oh, that would be incredible.
This has been great.
All right,
Really?
thanks, Daniel, for coming through. Yeah, that was going to be fun. It's going to be a good one.
Yeah.
All right, we're out of here.